It's been about 5 weeks. 5 weeks since we haven't had our drilling rig. We got to the point where we didn't know what to do with ourselves. We had done all of our service work, all the work around our house, got everything tidied up. Kind of had 2 dead days there, and then finally they called and said our rig was ready. So we went and picked the rig up 2 days ago. We got it here on the lot and we're about to load it up now. I want to show you all that was done to it. It's awesome. So basically, if we look up here, a whole brand new top head, the entire radiator right here was taken out. So they actually took the radiator out, pulled the top section off the radiator, pulled the bottom section off the radiator, and cleaned the inside out of all of them, and then put it back together. And they gave us a brand new, this is a kind of an upgraded water pump. It's a bean pump. It's 4 piston where our other was 3 piston. I think our other one was like 12 gallon a minute. This one's probably closer to 20. Inside, you see right there, you see the flywheel and the clutch assembly. So basically what it is, that's your motor, and then that's your air compressor, and then that's your connection in between. We noticed a shimmy in it where it was kind of doing this number, very, very slightly. But they went ahead, disassembled it, found that it had a slight, imperfection in it. You can tell inside of there that it's blue, so we got a brand new assembly there. Got a new front main seal on the motor because it was leaking. The exhaust, that was repaired, and they just did header wrap on it since the blankets were like $1,500. Header wrap was cheaper, so they got 2 brand new stainless steel elbows and then a new stainless steel flex pipe. All of our ramps in the back are brand new. It had gotten to the point where these were slippery because we had worn all of the grooves off of it. Got 3 brand new levers here for our rapid feed, our rotation, and our winch because these were leaking. Look back here, got all brand new hydraulics, new pumps, new motors. Every hydraulic hose on the truck is brand new now. This is pretty cool. When you look back in here, it looks like a brand new rig. That's so awesome. Look at it all. I can't imagine how long that took. He even put new braided lines to all of our stuff. And he said he changed all the filters. So all the filters inside of them are new.
Are the new air filters?
New outer air filters. Okay, he says the inners were fine, but he replaced the outers.
All hydraulic filters?
Everything. The only thing he didn't do was a compressor oil because we just did it like some 100 hours ago, But everything else is new. Yeah.
Go get the change for the rod.
Okay.
Yep. Okay.
Hey Phil.
Yep.
Right here. I need a little paint right here.
Okay. Yeah. Needs a little touch-up paint here and there. I noticed that. Come around here to this side. You can see they rebuilt this ramp here. Because this one had gotten bent, so they built us a new ramp here. And let's climb up here into the rod box before we fill it full of rods. So if anybody, this is what they call a funk box. So basically it's a 3-into-1 gear drive. There's one big gear in the front, and one big gear is powered off the front of the motor, and that spins, and it spins 3 separate hydraulic pumps that each has its own individual planetary gear. Well, like 3 years ago, the main big gear that's fed off the front, the bearings on both sides had started to wear, and I could hear a grinding noise. And I had took it apart, pulled it out, pulled the bearings out, flipped the gear around and put new bearings in it, and we had rebuilt it that way. I went ahead and told Eddie just to slap in a new box because I want this thing to last me another 15-20 years, so there won't no need to do it no half-ass way. But other than that, it looks really, really good. They put me a new fuel filter on it, new air filters in it, had the whole compressor taken out. We got a new hydraulic motor on the fan. So this thing's cool. Let's see what it looks like up here. Yeah, that looks good. It puts a little haze on it when I zoom it in like that. Kind of excited to get it all stood up and get this thing put back together so we can go back to work. And then back here, our table. There's things that y'all as a viewer don't know, but us as the drillers, we understand what's going on. So the back of the table, now that it's laying flat, when that gets stood up in the air, that's supposed to be perfectly flat, perfectly perpendicular, level across both ways. It started to have some sag in it. And the reason it had sag was because these little hinge points right here had started to wear from grit and opening up, and just, you know, 2 decades of travel and whatnot. Well, that white piece you see there, that's all brand new. That tightened the table back up, so the table no longer sags and everything is sitting flush the way it's supposed to be. So I'm very, very happy about that, because we were starting to get problems with pieces binding and just frustrating to deal with. But now we've got it all back together. So we've got about an hour and a half worth of work. We got to pick up all these drill rods, load them back in the truck, pick up the hammers, the 8-inch hammer, the 6-inch hammer, the over-reamer. When we took it apart, Justin was working with us. Justin decided he was going to leave and go work for Microsoft. So it's just us now, so we're going to get it done. I'm going to put the camera down while we do all this. And then once it's all loaded, we'll go on inside the shop. Now that was a workout. After 5 weeks of not doing any of that stuff, makes your muscles sore. I'll feel it tomorrow. I'm almost eager to go back to drill. It's like not doing anything, you feel like you're wasting, like your body's wasting away. You know, almost like you need to go to the gym. But it's supposed to rain tomorrow, so we can't drill tomorrow. So we're going to paint little areas that they neglected to paint. And since we have a bigger water pump, we have to have a bigger feed line. So we got to change the fittings over on our water truck from 3/4 inch over to 1 inch. And our suction hose, we've got to upgrade that from 3/4 to 1 inch. We've already got it, and we just have to do that. And then we're going to put a new mat on that. So just a lot of stuff to do to get it back right. You see, this is the old hose. That's gonna all be new. Got to put that little filter bracket back on. All of our casing wrenches. These are all the bit basket, casing halves, rod wipers, P-tail wrench, J-wrench. All this stuff's got to go back in the rig. Whew. And then we noticed we had a small little hydraulic leak on one of the main drain feedbacks. So I gotta get I think probably an inch and 3/4 wrench, and I gotta tighten that up once we get the rig inside. But here she comes. I'm so glad to see that back home. I'm tired. It's a good day. And then here are some of the hoses. I decided to take these back with us because each one of those hoses are like $800, $900, $1,500. And this is this is the main head drive. So this is on top of the head that basically rotates the drill rods. And it's got 13,000 hours on it. And that gear looks pristine. Like, it is nothing wrong with that gear set. It's amazing. We just changed it just because of the hours. But I decided to bring it home with us because it was in such good shape. Ain't no sense in just, you know, giving it away. He put a brand new one on it. We paid for it, so might as well keep the old one just in case something crazy happens. And then that's the old water pump. So This is a small 3-piston pump. The other one's a big 4-piston pump. So we should be able to flow some water now. Yee doggy. Well, while Mike's cleaning out the toolbox bin, we noticed when we went to fire it up, it's been sitting for so long. The old batteries, the big giant batteries, need to be recharged. So we're gonna go up here and take the battery box off and put the battery chargers on it. I'm gonna climb up there and I'll show you the top head and show you these big batteries. So the tray actually sits right here next to the motor, and there's your over-reamer and all the drill rods, and this is your big, one of the big giant batteries. So you got this one here, which is a 12-volt battery. You got that there is a 12-volt battery. They jump to make a 24-volt system. Yeah, these things, they are like all you can do to lift it up and put it in here. I mean, I'm gonna show you just how big it is. That's my foot. So it's like 4 of my feet. I'm gonna say that battery is 32, probably 30 inches long and 14 inches wide, and there's 2 of them. So what I gotta do is I gotta disconnect one of these jumpers, because I don't really know if a 12-volt battery in a 24-volt configuration can be charged by 2 12-volt batteries. I don't know. If you can answer that question in the comments, will be great. And I don't know if I can put a positive lead here and a negative lead there on my batteries and both of them would charge at 12 volts. But what we've always done is just disconnect them to where they aren't making the 24-volt connection, and then charge each separately with a different charger. That's just, I don't know. Better to be safe than sorry sometimes. But yeah, let's climb up here. I'm gonna show you all the top head. So this piece here is a floating sub, right? So this goes inside of this when you hook your drill rods up, to where when you do, you don't ever put unnecessary pressure, you know, on your table or on your rods. This has only got a little bit of time on it, maybe 1,500 hours. And we had took the original one off at about 10,000 hours. And one thing I was really happy about, I wanted them to do more than anything, is these rollers here. So we've got all brand new rollers here, one on the back here. So there's 3 on the bottom left, 3 on the bottom right, 3 on the top left, 3 on the top right. So all those rollers are new. They look good. I'm so happy about that. That keeps the head from like jerking around. It makes it ride true on the derrick. Rolls here, then it rolls here, and then it also rolls underneath here. And then they put a new motor here. This rotates your carousel around, so that's brand new. This whole assembly has been rebuilt. Yeah, that looks good. That's a brand new piece right there. Wow, look at that. I just love pretty metal work. Got a watch up being up here. A little sketch. Little sketch. So yeah, our chains right now, our chains are too tight. They had tightened them too much, so I'm gonna loosen them about 1/4 of an inch. That way they don't stretch, because the tighter you have your chains, the more it'll stretch. The reason you would want your chains tight is if you have instances where you hit rock early and you have to put down pressure on it. But typically we don't ever have that issue because our hammer weighs so much. The first, 20 or 40 feet is when you would have to use down feed. And then everything past that you do hold back. So once you hook up like the 4th rod and you're running the 4th rod and your drill bit, you're actually holding weight off of it. So you're actually pulling back. So that's why you don't need them tight, because you're not forcing it down. Holding it back with a loose chain actually keeps it tight. So that's cool. Wanted to see if they built any, had to rebuild any of the slide tracks, but it doesn't look like it. I'll show you what I mean. It's that, let's see where my finger is. It's that piece right there at the tip of my finger. That would be like the slide track that this system here rides on. I didn't know if they had to rebuild that or not, but looks like that's still in good shape. Because these pulley systems here, they ride on that track there, and there's another track on the other side, and it guides it all the way up. It keeps it centered, and it gets pressed by that big, like 15-foot long hydraulic cylinder there. That has been replaced in the past. And then all these big giant air hoses here, all these are brand new, and the boots. So cool, so cool. Oh, and I think he welded on a new neck. Our radiator neck was leaking at one point, so they ended up doing that. They welded on a new tip for our exhaust, so we got a new 14-inch stem for that. It looks really good up here. We've had one hydraulic leak on a 1.5-inch return hose. We noticed that when we were loading up the drill rods, so we had to fix that. We had one other leak inside the control panel on our holdout wrench. When we pulled the holdout wrench in, we had a little drip come out, so we had to tighten it. So it's not bad. I think it's, you know, if it's 80 hoses, that's 160 fittings. So out of 160 connections, if you have 2 that drip, that's not too shabby. Not too shabby. Yeah, you get a different perspective being up here on top of the drill rig. Kind of crazy. But, cool. I think I've seen all I need to see. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. Just want to thank y'all for watching. Make sure you give it a thumbs up before y'all leave. And, hope you're excited for some drilling content. I know I am. I'm just excited to get back out and do what I've been doing for the past 17 years. I don't think I haven't drilled a well in 5 months in a decade. So it's kind of crazy. So thank y'all for watching. And next time we see y'all, we'll see y'all out in the field. Peace.